when it was time for the hot dog to go on the hot dog bun, I didn't feel nothing.
I know it's been a while now. You're taking off in parts I've never heard of. I'm trying to figure out how I can show you now how I've been running out of things to.
Hey Glam, welcome back to my channel. I am Talent Love, and today we're going to be doing a story time about when the shrimp was shrimping, okay? Ain't no other way to put it. The shrimp was shrimping, y'all. The shrimp was shrimping, okay? Before I get into the story time, okay, since I'm gonna be telling y'all my business, I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and like this video, because I promise you definitely don't want to miss this, okay? So this story is about Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper, if you don't remember who that is, then I need you to pause this video, stop, and I'm gonna put a link right up here, and I need you to go back and watch the story time about when Salt and Pepper did the doo-doo in my bed. Okay, that was the end of me and Salt and Pepper. So this was the beginning. We gonna rewind and bring it back to the beginning. So you need to go watch the doo-doo, load it up with doo-doo-doo, and then right now we about to rewind and shoot from the beginning. Okay, let's get into it. So let's talk about how I met Salt and Pepper, because I don't think I went over that in my last story time, but yeah. So this is how I met Salt and Pepper. I was in high school and I had started doing music with like this label or whatnot, like this music label, whatever. And yeah, this was like, this had to be like my early, was this my early 20s? No, actually I was like between 17 and 19 is when I first met Salt and Pepper. So Salt and Pepper was actually a friend of a friend. This friend, does she need a name? We're gonna call her Kimora Lee. So Kimora Lee, she was like telling my manager at the time, like, hey, you know, I know somebody who do music that be like recording people and this and that, and whoop de whoop whoop, scoop de scoop bang bang. So he was like, bring through. So she was like, I bet. So I don't know how Kimora Lee knew them, but Kimora Lee knew Salt and Pepper, and Salt and Pepper had came through with a whole bunch of boys, and whoop de whoop bang bang, that's how I met, you know what I'm saying? So Salt and Pepper had posed as the dude that was going to do all the recordings for, well, be like one of the main options, because we already had people that record us and we would share all of our resources. That was the point of the whole label in the group. And Salt and Pepper was going to be one of those people that, you know what I mean, like posed as one of those people that was a new option. So we wasn't all crowded in one space. Like, y'all, we was tearing studio time up. That's just what it was. So yeah, so I remember, like, I think that day I didn't have a ride because I didn't drive until I was like 19. I think I was either 17 or 18 at the time. Sometimes I would get my homeboys, I don't ever think I gave them names. They're gonna get names because they have their own story times, but I don't think I ever gave my homeboys that was rappers, I mean, they weren't there that day. That's what I'm saying. They weren't there that day. So usually they would get me, or my big cousins would get me, because they all knew how to drive. So yeah, I was always the one like hopping in folks' car. I was getting how I live, and you know, I provided entertainment. I'm like, come through to rehearsal with me, come see a show, see, you know what, because it was so many different artists that would perform every single Wednesday. We would go to this recreation center, and we will all show our manager what our new sets was. You know, at this time, I think I was dancing, but transitioning into music. Another story for another day, how it all started. But anyway, so we riding the bus home. We all get acquainted, you know, friend level. To be honest, I don't even think he was interested in me in that day. Like, we was just meeting up as friends of friends or whatever. So moving forward or whatnot, I remember, like, we all had went out to dinner. He hit me up one time, like, we was cool, and he hit me up and was like, you know, he said, you know, I'm starting this label group or whatever. Like, I think it was just supposed to be like a group of like minds or whatever, something like that. And he was like, yeah, so did you want to pop through, whatever? You could be a singer, and if anybody need you on tracks, you know, you could get on, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, it sounded legit to me. I don't know if there was a videographer, but let's just say for the sake of the story time, videographers, rappers, you know what I mean, writers, whatever. Everybody did something different. Or if they didn't, you know, you just have people to collab with that pose as kind of like a family, whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna go hear it out or whatever. So I went and everything was cool. And now at the time, I had a boyfriend. This boyfriend, y'all ain't heard about him, but we gonna call him Goofy, okay? Because he was goofy, okay? So I had Goofy drop me off, because remember, I still don't think I was driving. This is fast forwarding, by the way. I forgot to tell y'all, I'm about 21 at the time, 22. So we had went our separate ways after we initially first met at 17, 18. I had dated somebody else that was way older than me, and his name is Love and Hip Hop. We're gonna give him his own story. No, his name is Egg on Toothpicks. He's in another story time as well. I dated Egg on Toothpicks. If you know, you know. Put that story time up here too. And then I had dated Goofy. I was dating Goofy now, and Salt and Pepper invited me out. Cool, you know. Goofy, he had his own thing going on. Goofy was in a car club. Goofy did his own thing. So I had Goofy drop me off. I think I was just with him because I drove. I don't know. So Goofy drops me off. We have the meeting. We at the Denny's. We out to eat. And then we go on our separate ways. So at that time, me and Goofy just arguing and arguing. And I really can't remember. There was a specific argument that was happening that night. And I really want to remember what it was. I really think that Goofy was like beefing with me over Salt and Pepper. And I'm like, Goofy, like, this is literally just business. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, Goofy, I let you go anywhere you want to go with all these car club people. And y'all know the car clubs got the little girls in there. And I don't know, the girls, if yo dude not in there, then you trying to smash the dudes in the car club. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is. Car club is not my thing, but that was Goofy thing, so I supported it. Whatever. I typically prefer that my dudes have their own hobby. But yeah, so that was that. So me and Goofy arguing. So time goes by, and you know, I start doing music with Salt and Pepper, just on a light scale. I had to take a break from the label that I was in, you know, and then this option had presented itself. So, you know, the recording was free. I ain't have to pay for nothing, whatever. So I ended up breaking up with Goofy. So I was like, I don't know how I ended up here, but one night I was at Salt and Pepper's house. Now, I don't know if I was doing music first or if Salt and Pepper invited me over for a drink or two or whatnot. So, Salt and Pepper always like to drink, okay? That is Salt and Pepper thing. Remember how I told y'all when Salt and Pepper did the do up in my bed? Salt and Pepper was always off that liquor, okay? Salt and Pepper had his own things going on, and Salt and Pepper just, it was really hard for him to be sober. And when we was young, I didn't even think nothing of it, because I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're young. Like, you getting lit in your 20s. Like, come on, let's be clear. I went through a phase for a short amount of time where I was going out Tuesday through Sunday. Yeah, and I was only like not going out Mondays. Sometimes I wouldn't go out Tuesdays. So we was lit all the time. Nobody thought nothing of it. So, but one thing I didn't do, y'all, was like kick back and have liquor in my house, like in the place that I stayed at. Maybe I would go to other people's houses, but I never would be at my house. I just really thought that was strange. It's just kind of the same way, like, you don't, as a female, I could never, back then, like, I would never see myself if I was a stoner buying my own, you know what I'm saying? Like, calling up the stoner guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it PG because I heard you can't say no bad stuff in the first 15 minutes, and yeah. So I couldn't see myself doing that. I'ma just, you know, had to do is buy it or whatever. That's how I will rock out, if you get what I'm saying. So that's how that's the comparison, where if I was that, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, he was like kicking back, having a beer or whatnot. And you know, I'm just chilling. I don't think I'm drinking at this time because I'm not a beer drinker. So like, if you have beer, like my cousins, they'll tell you, like, I'm not a beer drinker. I think it's nasty. The only way I could ever stomach it is if it's like a light, I think it's Coronas, like a light Corona, and then you have to put the lime on top. And then at that point, it's just like, what are we even doing here? Because if I got to do all that to like it, I don't want it. I'm wine, I'm fruity drinks, I'm peach Ciroc, okay? Been a Ciroc girl. So we talking or whatnot, and I'm just like so devastated by what me and Goofy is going through, because we're breaking up. And I was really sad, you guys, because Goofy, like, he went out with a bang, okay? Goofy didn't just exit, he went out with a bang, okay? And I'm just like, you know, I had put Goofy out, and I'll tell y'all how I did that in another story time, but I had put Goofy out in the worst way. And you know, I was just kind of like, yo, this joint is silly or whatever. So you know how like you over something or you off it, but you still got emotions where you just got to expel it out your system or whatever. Basically, it was just borderline like, you try to play me, and who do you think you are, like ego wise, but I don't like you or love you no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just an ego thing. So I'm telling Salt and Pepper, we like on the deck or whatever, just chilling. And I'm telling Salt and Pepper, I'm like, you know, confiding in him, because me and Salt and Pepper are friends at this point. That's it. And I'm telling him, and he was like the only friend I had at the time that was like a male that was like around. All my male friends had moved to Atlanta. So I'm telling him, I'm like, you know, Salt and Pepper, I don't love him. I'm just like, you know, it's an ego thing. Like, how dare you to me, like, it's giving bossing. Okay, yeah, never ever play me like I'm average, period. So I'm telling him, I'm like, you know, I don't love him. And Salt and Pepper looked at me and was like, okay. And Salt and Pepper really wasn't one of many words, you guys. I like my dudes like kind of quiet. Goofy wasn't quiet, but my typical type of dude is a chill dude. The quietest dude in the room, I want to talk to you. Or if you goofy, I like you goofy, but you don't be telling your tea, because now I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, I like people that don't be spelling all their business out, because I'm the polar opposite. You could spend like 20 minutes in a room with me and know everything about me that there is to know surface level. I know that's not good. Listen, there's other people like me. Everybody's different. So, you know, I work on that. I'm working on that. But I'm an open book. I keep things to myself, yes, but sometimes I could be open book. That's if I'm comfortable with you, because I'm not that comfortable with a lot of people. So if I feel the vibes, I feel the vibes. Back to what I'm saying. So he looks at me, and you know those people that don't talk that much, their facial expressions, their little bit of energy, it be just giving like extra harsh. So he looks at me like I'm a liar, and he was all I had. I just needed my one friend to believe in me. So when he did that, I just started busting out crying, y'all, because I'm like, yo, you don't even believe me. Like, you think I'm crying? And he's like, I'm like, you think I'm crying because I love him? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, like, what? I'm crying because you don't believe me. And I don't know why it meant so much to me, y'all. Like, it really, to this day, it means so much to me that the people that surround me know my heart. If you think I'm a bad person, you got to get from around me, because that means you don't know me at all. I'd rather die than essentially hurt somebody. Unless you come for me, then that's a whole nother person you're gonna get. Like, that's a beast you really don't want to awaken, because when it's justified, I'm gonna do what needs to be done to get you out of my space and out of my energy, because you're not gonna bother me. Like, you're not about to bother me. You're not about to make me have those sleepless nights, because I'm too good of a person. So that happened. I ended up going home that night, and I'm just like beside myself. So we work it out. Time goes on. We be cool. You know, I don't really know what happened in between that. I just know we got cool. We would do music. We would talk all the time. I found out things about him, like, you know, just intimate things. And, you know, we just started growing, and he started like trusting me with, you know, particulars in his life that he, you know, that you just really don't tell people that you're not that close with. So so one day he messages me, and he's just like, you know, he liked me. And I'm like, what? And I wasn't even thinking of him like that. So let's get into Salt and Pepper. Okay, Salt and Pepper, he was a lot of things, okay? I'm not even gonna play on Salt and Pepper name, okay? Salt and Pepper about 6'3", 6'4". Salt and Pepper light skin, and I don't mind dark, light or dark, but I feel like it's something about each individual one. When it's a chocolate dude, it's like, it's something about that chocolate skin. When it's a light skin dude, I'm like, it's something about that caramel, that almondy skin. You get me? So let me restart my camera because it's about to end. Okay, so I'm like, it's something about that almondy skin or whatnot. So I'm just like, you know, yeah. He got tattoos everywhere. That's what I'm telling y'all what he looked like, the aesthetic. He got tattoos everywhere. He got curly hair, curly-ish hair if you grow it out, waves. He got a mustache. He got them pink, y'all know when light skinned people, we have them pink juicy bubblegum color lips, like just yeah, he was all of that, okay? All of that, you know. And he had a decent size shoe size or whatever, decent sized hands, whatever. So I always like to make a joke and say I'm a tree climber. I like tall guys. I don't like, I'm not goofy enough to like just like say I don't want somebody because they're short if they have all the things, or they have most of the things. You know, I like vibes and personalities too. I really like vibes. But essentially, like, if I had a first choice, I like them tall because, you know, I'm short, I'm plus size. We're gonna look like the perfect 10. Okay, so anyway, he hits me and he tells me he likes me, and I'm like running it past everybody. I know, like, everybody in my corner, and I'm like, girl, what you think about this? Like, you know, and everybody like, oh, give him a chance, you know what I'm saying? He's cute. Like, he was giving sophisticated in like his pictures or whatnot. Like the picture I was showing everybody, he had like a church outfit on. Well, not a church outfit, like a dress shirt of some sort, like a casual type shirt, a necklace, and an earring in his ear, and he was just so cute. Like, he was so cute. He looked like a mix of Chris Brown mixed with T.I. He was so cute. So anyway, that happened. So I'm like, okay, let's just see where it go, whatever. So we start hanging out, finding reasons to be together, whoop-de-whoop, bang bang. So Howard, that had to be around August maybe or something like that, right before my birthday. So Howard homecoming, y'all, that's the thing in the DMV area, okay? That is where I'm from. If you didn't know, I'm a Virginia girl. Wear my heart on my sleeve. Virginia is for lovers. What are we saying? Talent, love. So in DC, there's HBCU called Howard. If you're not familiar, I can't see who would it be. And it's kind of like died down over the years. But Howard homecoming used to be such a big thing that all the rappers would rap about it. It'd be in all their songs. All of the famous people that could get there would get there. You know, it's still like some upper echelon people that are millionaires that are black that go to Howard because of its reputation, the curriculum, you know, and it's, you know, like I said, its reputation for HBCU, for being an HBCU, one of the top ones. So their homecoming is big, to say the least. Now about the homecoming, you could get into different things. You could start with like the first day, it's like little club nights and stuff like that. The second day is the Yard Fest. Now with the club nights that happen Friday night, let's just rewind to that. It's like it's people that like all the like Qs, the Kappas, I don't know their names, they each host different, like host at different clubs. Sometimes they have their own parties. It was a lot of that going on. Second day is the Yard Fest. The Yard Fest is all day long. I think it started at 2 p.m. or like early in the morning, and it ends around 2 or 3 p.m. I don't know. We never made it there. That's when they have the floats and things like that. The celebrities be on the floats performing. I think that particular year there was Yo Gotti and Trina. I think Nicki Minaj was just like popping off around that time maybe, or like she had no, she had already been popping by then. She was with Young Money. So yeah. And then on Sunday, you know, it would go back to the same. The homecoming was Saturday night, excuse me, after the Yard Fest. And then we never went to the homecoming. We just went to all the events. And then on Sunday, it would be the same thing with like the Kappas, the Qs, whoever hosting whatever club events. And Sunday night would be just as lit as any of those other days, to be honest. So what we used to do, we used to go all out. We used to rent cars. I used to have everybody come stay in my house. And I mean, we used to sleep on the floor. I think we got a hotel a couple of times. Like, we used to go all out for our homecoming, okay? Because the niggas was outside, so we was outside, and that's just what it was. So I'm cool with him. You know, we liking each other or not, but he not stopping me from going outside. That's just what it was. I'm just like that. If I'm not in a relationship, I'm outside. Like, I'm outside, where's the niggas at? So and this was back before I became a workaholic. So anyway, I invite him over, and I'm like, you know, we gonna rent a car, we gonna do this, that, and the third. I can't remember if he put in on the car. I think he did, but I know he had to go to work the next day. So we went to the club on Friday night. I don't think he went to the club with us. I think he met us that night when we got home late. So we got the rental car, we went to the club, he came back late. We was up, we was having a ball. We was watching TV, movies, you know, I had cooked whatever, and yeah, and y'all, I could cook. Like, it's this famous dish I be making. It's like chicken, but I be putting like using cornflakes as the flakes, and then I paint it like it's KFC barbecue, honey barbecue chicken, y'all, and it be bussin', okay? So I had made that for everybody because that used to be one of my specialties. So we chilling or whatever, and I think me and him slept on the floor. So I remember, like, either he had got like a hard on when we was cuddling, or like I remember like having to stay away from him, or him telling me like, hey, like, back up, don't be like on me, you know what I'm saying? So that happens. So the next morning happens, and you know, everybody else is there. He's going to work, so I go ahead and I make his plate or whatever. For breakfast, I like cooked them breakfast because I was cooking everybody breakfast. So, you know, I put all his food together, and I put, like, y'all, I'm still so cute, but I'm gonna be so cute for my husband now. Like, you know, back then I would do your lot, whatever I want to do. If I love you, I'm gonna give you everything. That's just me, you know, until you don't deserve it, you know. So anyway, I like put the little syrups and containers and whatnot, and ketchup and container for the hash browns, and you know, I pack up his lunch and I give it to him, and I'm like, you know, don't worry about you can't stay, or if you can come back Saturday night, because you know, I got you, you're not about to miss out on that. Here you go the food, you know, whatever. Because his thing was he wanted the breakfast, so he like, wow, nobody ever cooked for me. And I'm like, yeah, you know, have a good day at work, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's platonic, but it's not. So, and plus he had said no girl had ever cooked for him. You're welcome. So anyway, he goes to work or whatever. Saturday, we don't get on time. That's one thing, you guys. We never made it to the Saturday Yard Fest. That was the worst part about it, okay? We never made it to the Saturday Yard Fest. We would go out for the after parties for homecoming because we would be way too drunk to do anything. So he comes back. So Sunday happens, and this particular Sunday I had to go to work the next day. I didn't go out this Sunday. I don't remember doing that. And all my friends had went home, and I think we was just burnt out. Like, we were burnt out, y'all. It's really like a marathon where we try to make it to the end of the weekend and do something every single hour of the day. But it's really no way to do that off liquor with less than 8 hours of sleep. But god damn it, we tried. So I was telling him on that Sunday, I'm like, you know, come stay the night with me or whatever. And I'm like, you can come back. And he like, okay, cool. So he comes back because, see, I used to have this thing about me, y'all. Like, I used to like hold out or whatnot, right? Just to see how you gonna act on the first night. Is you gonna come back if I hold out? Like, what I want to see is you gonna treat me different after we do, or you know what I'm saying, what's gonna happen. So I'm like, all right, cool, you know, come on back, whatever. So like I told y'all, everything was everything about him. So, you know, it's only so long before you get curious to see, you know, what's what. Like, I'm trying to see something, you know. So he comes back over, we stay the night, and I remember I'm like, you know, telling my bestie, and I'm like, we gonna call her Little Bit. So I'm telling Little Bit, I'm like, yeah girl, like, you know, he coming over tonight. And she like, you gonna do it? Because Little Bit, let me say something, Little Bit likes to know everybody's tea, and I love that, because it's not in a messy way. It's just like she want to like not live vicariously through you, because she's, you know what I'm saying, she got her own situation that she loves. It's just that she's like as equally happy for you as you are for you. So she like, you know, y'all gonna do it. And I'm like, girl, no. Okay, maybe. So, you know, he comes over and whatnot, and you know, I remember like laying there and I'm like making a decision in my head, and I'm like, this is, yeah, it's gonna happen. So I'm like a kisser. So I like to kiss. So we just kissing and this and that. And it's because I don't really like that many people, y'all. I'm so finicky. I need to know, do you have a sloppy mouth? Are your teeth clean? Like if you have a crooked or chipped tooth, like are you clean? Like do you floss? Like how many times a day do you brush your teeth? Like I really need to know. You know what I'm saying? Do you be keeping a white line around your lip? Like I'm particular. So, you know, we kissing, and I just decide that I want to know what that did hit for. Like I want to know what that did hit for. Okay, so we go ahead and we do, and I remember, you guys, I don't know if like he was a chair or if you know, it was given on that back or whatever, or you know, but I remember when it was time for the hot dog to go on the hot dog bun, I didn't feel nothing. And I was just like, now, full disclaimer, 9 times out of 10 when I get serious with a dude, he has a huge advantage of a head start, okay? And my ladies know how this works. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's an exception to every rule for the little hoes or whatever, but when I only like to mess with people when I'm like serious about them, okay? I'm not about to just be throwing it. I don't know, I be too emotional. Like once I want you, I just want you. Like I just want to breathe your air. I want to be inside your skin. Like I want you. So if you mess with me, it been months or years or whatever. And I had got with him right after Goofy, but it had been a couple months. And I wasn't like playing around meantime in between time. I was outside, but I wasn't outside having doing activities or whatever. So like I wasn't playing hopscotch and double dutch. I wasn't jumping in the rope. I was just outside clapping for the people double dutching, if you get what I'm saying. So y'all, I didn't feel nothing. And I remember like being so devastated, and you could tell he was like just looking at me like trying to figure out how I felt. And I remember right after that I went to the bathroom, because you know you got to do the after nut pee. I mean, I didn't nut, but you get what I'm saying, the after nut pee that happens. So I go pee, and I'm like, yo, I remember sitting on the toilet, y'all. And I was just thinking to myself, I literally looked straight up at Jesus and I said, Jesus, you like to be funny, huh? You think you so funny. Okay, good. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna be the end of that. Like I'm Gucci, I'm straight, I'm good. Like I'm good. It was a shrimp. I'm so good. So after that or whatnot, I go back there, and then like y'all, he wants to cuddle, and I just do it because I just knew that was just gonna be the last night for me. I just couldn't do it. I can't. If it's too small, like he wasn't giving Nelly, he wasn't giving average. It was small, y'all. And I was so disappointed because I'm used to King Kong. I'm used to like Magnum XL. You feel me? Like that's just what it is. And I'm used to Hook. Call that nigga Captain Hook. Hey, I'm used to all of that. I'm not used to no small. So, and then not to mention Goofy was a Magnum XL, and he was barely fitting that, if we just being honest. So I've like lucked up in the eggplant department, but this one, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, y'all, I guess everybody got to pay their dues, right? Everything. It was only so long that I was gonna go with the big eggplants. Like Anyway, so that happens. So I go to work the next day. I'm like, the bye ain't even the same when he leave. I'm like, yeah, have a nice day. I didn't cook him breakfast. I'm not doing that. Like, it's some oatmeal. It's some Quaker oatmeal packets in there if you want it, like, type, for real. So that happens. So I go to work and I'm talking a little bit. It's nap time. We work at a preschool at the time. And I'm talking a little bit. She in the nap room. I'm on break. And she's like, how was everything last night? And I'm like, hit her with that and she's like, what happened? And I'm like, and she was like, was it smelly? And I'm like, and she was like, was he bad? And I'm like, no. And she's like, he was rough. And I'm like, and she was like, it was small. And I was like, bingo. And she was like, so how do you feel? Like, oh no. And I'm like, I'm never, that's the end of that. Like, we're done here. That's the end of that. And let me tell y'all something about Lil Bit. One thing about her is Lil Bit gonna find a positive in something and try to make it work, okay? It is her biggest asset, and sometimes it's the biggest curse. I love you so much, Lil Bit, because I know you gonna watch it. So, and to this day, that's Lil Bit guy. Lil Bit love him. Anytime I be singing Lil Bit, be like, what about salt and pepper? And I'll be like, no ma'am. So she's like, you know, there's different angles and whatnot. You know, there's a way, you know, you could get around it. So I'm asking a little bit. I'm like, you sound like you got experience. Have you ever a little bit like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you like it, do you like him? And I'm like, everything about him. It's just that one thing. I feel so bamboozled. I feel like with the swag, with the looks, the clothes, the confidence, the voice, the kissing, the everything. Like, I feel like he bamboozled me. Like, you didn't even warn a nigga. I don't know how you warn a nigga about that, but you didn't even warn me. Like, what? So I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And she's just like, and at this point he hadn't like ate peaches or anything like that. It was just like, you know, the first session, you don't be being an acrobat, you know what I'm saying? You gotta build up. You're not giving away all the tricks at the, you know what I'm saying, at the beginning of the rodeo. No. So I was just like, no. So she was just like, you know, okay, so try this, you know, at the edge of the bed at XYZ. So I was like, ugh. So I ended up continuing to deal with him, and we worked it out, you know. After I realized, you know, the foreplay was, yeah, and okay, because for me, that's all I had was the foreplay. Like, what? But if we're talking in reference, it was so small that if you went to like lollipop the eggplant, if you get what I'm saying, lollipop the eggplant, your jaws would be sore. So yeah. And can we just get a full disclaimer? I know dudes can't help it, okay? Just like girls can't help certain things, woo doo woo, bang 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 bang. But it's just, some things just is what it is, are what it are, ain't what it's not, never gonna be what it's not, whatever. Y'all get me. So anyway, I think that I'm gonna stop right there in the story time here on how I found out the little pickle dickle wasn't dickling, and it was a shrimpy on it, and it wasn't really an eggplant. It was like a little sweet mini pickle, like that wasn't even grown, wasn't cucumber, it wasn't none of that. So yeah, ladies, y'all be safe out there. I did learn something after a while. Every pickle dickle gets old. And I also learned, I be telling my best friend this all the time. She cracks up at me. I'm like, every dude gonna get on your nerves. You're gonna get sick of all of them at some point. That's just human nature. You might as well get the cuter, you know what I'm saying, the one that you like, that's the most handsome, because it's just like at the end of the day, and they got the little pickle dickle going on, or the foreplay is on point, because it's just like at the end of the day, the last thing you want to say is, not only is this nigga motherfucker retarded, or he's slow, or whatever the fuck he is, that nigga ugly. Or not only is he this, that, going through hard times, being lazy or whatever, because everybody have a moment, or I don't know, having a bummy moment, his pickle ain't dickling. Like, that's not one thing you want to be able to say. Okay. So anyway, y'all, I love you guys so much. And if you didn't like this story time, just go ahead and pause it and like it. Like I said, since y'all gonna be in my business, I'm sharing all my business. This is like as far as I've ever went into a story time. Until next time, you guys, be fresh and be fierce. I forgot to show y'all, get into this makeup. I don't feel like the camera's doing it justice. I got the gold, you know what I'm saying, in or whatever. Peach on the cheeks, peachy brown on the lips. That Rihanna Fenty be going up. Not sponsored though. And yeah, we got blue on the eyes. And I've been into headscarves lately, y'all, so much. I don't know what it is. I'm just turning into a headscarf girl. I just think it's very, very adorable, and it saves me having to like be rough on my edges. But yeah, you guys, I love you guys so much. Until, oh yeah, comment below and tell me, could you stay with a dude if the pickle wasn't dickling but he had every single thing else and had like a little average job or whatever? Could you stay with somebody if the pickle wasn't dickling? I don't know. Just, I don't know, put pickle dickle yes, or put eggplant yes, eggplant no. Like, no, can't do it if it's no eggplant, baby. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Was I tripping? I don't know. But until next time, you guys, be fresh and be fierce. Glam Girl out.